What's up, guys? It's your boy Jhota, and today I want to talk to you guys about difficulty in video games and how a game being too easy or too hard can drastically affect how much fun someone has while playing. So there are a few things I want to talk about in this video. First, I'm going to talk about how Classic and Burning Crusade World of Warcraft differs from retail in terms of difficulty while leveling and how much fun you have spending those hours leveling your character. Then I want to have a conversation about Soulsborne games such as Dark Souls and Mortal Shell to talk about how a game that is overly difficult can actually be really fun. And lastly, I want to give my opinion on easy mode in games and whether or not games should have it. Alright, so starting with World of Warcraft, as you can see on my screen right now, I've been playing a little bit of Classic and Burning Crusade Classic as the pre-patch just came out, but I also have a lot of experience playing retail WoW as I've been playing the game since Burning Crusade came out 14 years ago. The difficulty between these two versions of the game is most prevalent during the leveling experience. In its early years, World of Warcraft leveling experience was an adventure. Your character's power compared to the enemies that you're facing is not that much greater, and sometimes even on par with enemies that you're attacking. Because of this, if more than one enemy attacks you at a time, you are either going to die or be in a very tough fight. Now compare that to today's World of Warcraft, and you can pull 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 enemies at a time, AoE them all down with absolutely no issues. And that simple fact is really the main issue I'm trying to get at for this, is that when you're playing in Classic compared to retail, you feel less powerful, but it makes the experience more fun because you have a sense of danger and a sense of adventure. And as you can see from the clip, the quest that I was doing at the time was a little bit difficult for me as a mage, so I grouped up with a hunter that was nearby, and we were able to do the quest together. I can't think of a time in retail when I've had to ask for somebody's help with a quest unless it was an actual group quest, and sometimes even then you could solo those quests too. The sense of adventure and danger is much more prevalent in older versions of WoW. The newer expansions try to cater to a more casual audience and don't expect them to live up to any sort of challenge. By hand-holding and making the leveling experience trivial, the fun is sucked out of that entire section of the game, which can be days of playtime. Before I move on to the next topic, leave a comment down below if you guys are World of Warcraft players, and let me know which one you prefer. Do you prefer playing retail because of the newer mechanics, or do you think that the older version of the game is more fun because the leveling experience was a bit more fun? Now, let's move on to some of the most rage-inducing games of all time.
Slim J, pleased to meet you, bud.
Soulsborne games. Games like Dark Souls, Mortal Shell, Bloodborne, these games are all unapologetically difficult. They have a steep learning curve, but also a high skill ceiling that players are going to need to overcome in order to complete these games. Now, Souls games aren't my cup of tea, as I prefer playing faster combat games like Nier Automata, but there's something to be said for a game that's so difficult yet has such a mass appeal. The people who enjoy these types of games get satisfaction from improving and progressing on boss fights or certain sections of the game through improving their own skill. A single boss fight might take someone hours, days, or weeks to complete, but they'll steadily improve with each new attempt, and then when you finally beat that boss, there's a sense of joy, relief, and pride that comes from doing that. So while these games are incredibly difficult, to the point where I won't even pick one up, I can 100% understand why it is so much fun for people to play these games. I wish I could speak from more personal experience about these games, but I'm really interested to hear from people who do play these games, and what are the reasons that you guys think they're really, really fun, and why people keep coming back to them. And last but not least, let's move to the complete other side of the spectrum and talk about games that either have an easy mode or are just very easy in general. Now, easy modes in games are kind of a tough topic to talk about because there are people on both sides of this issue, and everyone has strong opinions for why they think easy mode should be left out of games or it should be included. Now, I would consider myself to be kind of in the middle of this issue because I think it should be evaluated on a case-by-case basis. Obviously, a game like Dark Souls, which is supposed to be difficult, that's the allure of the game, shouldn't have an easy mode for people just to blow through the game. But at the same time, you have people out there with disabilities who should be allowed to enjoy the same games that we do, even if they don't have a way of physically or mentally performing at the same level as other people. Now, maybe an easy mode isn't the way to bridge this gap, but I don't think it hurts to have that option in a video game. I will always be an advocate for accessibility in games because I think that no matter what your physical or mental state is, you should be allowed to enjoy modern games like anybody else. I'm thinking about making a different video about accessibility in games and how different controllers or ways of playing games can help people with these disabilities to play the games that we love. If there are any of you out there who are or know someone who has some sort of disability that doesn't allow them to play games, I would love to hear from you about what would help somebody like that to play a game more easily. Is there some sort of controller that would help, or do you think that having an easy mode is the best option? Well, that's all from me today. If you guys have any comments about any of the topics that I've talked about, or you want to see anything in a future video, leave a comment down below. As always, like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in the next one.